So here we go, guys. Let's test it out. 3 other aircraft in the new BR range. At first, we're not gonna waste too much time in the first 2, but let's get going. The SU-17M2 is the first one, and as you can see, look at the BRs that we are facing, man. 9.7s, 10.0s, 10.3s. This is probably the aircraft that got the biggest BR change in the whole BR change, right? Because it went from 10.7, which was an absurd high BR for this aircraft. I even included this BR on, or this aircraft in the you should stay away lists, you know, so now it's finally usable. It's finally kind of good. You can be used as a good bomber. Of course, remember, a lot of people just jump for the bases. So yeah, I still believe that getting bases is the best way. But look at the BRs that we are facing. The R60 can actually be used properly over here. You know, it's pretty good. I actually, honestly, now I like this aircraft. So you gotta be careful a little bit with certain missiles that you're gonna see, and you still gotta be careful with your 6, because if not, you get a missile from a very far distance like an M9G, right? It wasn't even that far, but still, you still don't have flares, but it's still a way better aircraft right now. Like, the BR change is amazing for this thing. It really changed the aircraft. The second one that I wanted to talk about is the Draken, in specific the D variant. Although there were other Drakens that got their BR change, I think the D model, since it's the main, you know, Tech 3 one, it's not a premium or anything, I think it's the one that benefited the most, because it was suffering in the 10.3. Now it is 10.0 as well, and as you can see, the BR is pretty much the same as we were seeing on the SU-17, right? So you see a lot of T2s, F4s, MiG-21s here and there, some Mirage 3s sometimes, J7s, Q5s, aircraft that this thing was supposed to be fighting. But again, this thing was already fighting these aircraft. The thing is, once he actually got an up tier, he was really suffering. You know, he doesn't have flares, he only has 4 missiles, and the performance is pretty good, but if you don't know what you're doing, and I don't think I do with this thing, but it is an aircraft that can lose a lot of speed very quickly and just be killed in the easiest manners possible, right? So it is somewhat of a learning curve aircraft, even in this lower BR, but now at least it doesn't face the 11.3s, right? There are a lot of 11.3s out there, and those would pull these things in a higher rank. So that, together with a lot of 10.3s right now in the game, a lot of aircraft got a lower BR as well. It means that you have this kind of a BR bracket that this thing kind of feels safe. You will see some all-aspect missiles. You can get killed by normal missiles. You still don't have flares and stuff, but it is a lot easier to stay alive because you don't need to. I mean, literally, once you got to those higher tiers, up tiers, you would be basically literally deaf, you know. You would just, somebody would launch a missile onto you and you would be basically GG. There's nothing you can do about it, right? So it is something that really changed on this thing. It is a lot better. It's not perfect yet, you know, it's still kind of, like I said, a difficult aircraft to fly, but at the end of the day, it was kind of necessary. I mean, look at the turn on this thing, and facing these things, even though you don't have flares or anything, it can still be very fun and very cool, right? Fired an RB-24 there, but yeah, I had to go defensive due to the 104 coming up, and I eventually missed that missile. So yeah, that guy exploded, and then my mistake here. It was in a defensive position. The Su-25 saw me, and I was just too slow to do anything. He actually exploded me with the S-24, so cheers for that guy. That was a very interesting kill. And the last one that I really wanted to talk about, this is completely changed. It is the F-20, guys. It is an aircraft that, although, yeah, it is a premium, so not a lot of people have this thing, but if you have it, or you are thinking in buying this thing, wait for a sale probably, but go get this thing. Right now, this thing is really amazing. Is it better than the F-16A that is in the same BR? I don't know. You tell me, because that thing doesn't have BVR. It has more missiles and it will fly better in a general sense, right? But it's not like this aircraft is bad. It turns very well. You can beat in dogfights, even Mirage 2000 in this thing if you know what you're doing. And yeah, the main problem here is still that you don't have a lot of missiles, right? But still, you have great cannons. You have pretty good missiles for the BR, and now it is like one of the best 12.3s in the game. It really is one of the best you can get it, so you gotta think about what you are fighting every single time you fight it, but in a general sense you can get into a dogfight every single time. Just the BVR stuff, you probably should be a little bit careful on just jumping on targets, but in a dogfight perspective, this thing can jump in any dogfight and beat it if you get accustomed to flying it, right? So I mean, it is pretty much an F5, right? So at the end of the day, guys, it is an aircraft that it was suffering from up tiers. Again, this is the problem with a lot of these aircraft that got a new BR. It's not that it was suffering at 12.7 per se, it did suffer when it was fighting the 13.7s. Was it common? Maybe not as much as people think, because now we have the 14.0s. Back in the day it was a lot better, a lot worse. But at the end of the day, it was still kind of problematic, because you can have Fox trees from 13.0 onwards already, right? So having an aircraft that doesn't have Fox trees like this, and honestly doesn't have a lot of flares and countermeasures in general, fighting those without even an IRCCM AIM-9, right? It is difficult. So it's more due to that than anything else. The problem with this is that it will stomp. Like literally, I mean, I'm fighting a CS4 over here, a Mirage, and I mean, I'm doing some mistakes over here. I noticed my mistakes later on, and I start to win the dogfight. It was kind of overshooting too much. I was too fast and maintaining the afterburner. Now I realize that my best course of action here is try to make him overshoot the dogfight, and I try to just maintain a lower airspeed over here, and eventually kind of start to, work. Eventually he got killed by another player, but it shows how much this aircraft can fight these things. So imagine if it's fighting a Mirage 2000 like this, which is one of the best dogfighters you can have, if not the best. I mean, clearly not the best, since the F-20A was kind of winning there, but one of the best in 12.3 and 12.7. It means that it is a very good aircraft. So the problem with this, I mean, it's great that it's not seeing 13.7s anymore, and you will see a lot less Fox trees, but it's really doubtful that an F4E would have a chance against this thing, right? And 11.3. So it is a win-lose situation always in these BR changes, and there's nothing you can do, right? But it is great to see this aircraft really being worth to actually get it right now. And honestly, I would really, I mean, you have a lot of other rewards and everything, but I would really think about it if you compare this aircraft to the Talisman on an F-16A Block 10, right? It really is a difficult choice between the two, because they're both amazing 12.3s right now. We landed, everybody died, 2 Mirage F1s were there, so of course I had to kill them, and this is what I mean. I mean, of course the Mirage F1 doesn't have the lowest BR ever, but it is still a lower BR than this thing, and it is still fighting these things, right? So yeah, and I mean, although it does have the Magic 2, apart from that, it is basically that. One turn and you are already on his 6. I mean, he didn't try too much here. I wasted an AIM-9 there. I was trying to waste a lot of AIM-9s because I really knew that at the end of the day he would come to the dogfight. But, I mean, it's not even a fight against a Mirage F1. The Mirage just doesn't turn very well, So it's not gonna do anything against me. Like, I have to be careful with the Super 530s, and I mean, they're not that difficult to avoid, and the Magic 2s mainly, right? Because those missiles are pretty amazing if you get a shot onto the enemy. But apart from that, it's just easy kills. Really easy kills. So at the end of the day, guys, like I said, if you're already thinking about buying this thing, now it's the time. So yeah, the last guy there, another Mirage F1, try to just remain in a kind of defensive position over here to not get shot by the Magic 2. I go into 1 turn and I'm already on his 6. He's trying to go for me, but yeah, first pass and he's already critted. Here I kind of made it probably too difficult for me. You're gonna see it, but eventually he just, you know, he dies. So yeah, amazing aircraft. It really is. These new 12.3s, I mean, still, these 3 aircraft, the F-16A and the F-20 with the new BR, and if you have it, the Mirage CS4, there are 3 aircraft that are amazing at 12.3 right now. Really good. They have their problems, but they are amazing. So basically this is it, guys. The rudder made it difficult there for the last shot, but eventually I would just clip his wing. I was waiting for him to maybe, you know, jump or whatever, but yeah, eventually 1 shot, wing clipped, and an ace. The first match, and already an ace. So you can already see that this thing will dominate. One of the best premiums, if not the best premium right now you can buy in packs and stuff. So yeah, basically this is it. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, and I see you guys on the next one. So yeah, 5 kills. Yeah, very easy aircraft to fly. Bye guys, see ya.